Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so this time I'm gonna do a couple different paths, I think. So I'm gonna go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
go left.
he entered the door on his left.
And then I'll disobey the next set of instructions, I think.
Yet there was not
Not a person here. We're gonna go to the boss's
Feeling
room.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a
Go
staircase,
downstairs.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Yeah.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Yeah.
At last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a dream.
It's
a dream.
Felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Pretty.
And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
What?
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Yeah,
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
Yeah,
How
you
else
idiot.
would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
Yeah.
That this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Wake up.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Okay.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? and everything went black.
Oh no.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna go again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This time I'm gonna take the elevator in the boss's office, I think.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Because that makes the most logical sense for the next thing I should do. So this time, if I can open the door. There we go. Poor panda. Should I go up or down? I'm gonna go up. Oh, even the narrator likes this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright. We're gonna try that again. We're gonna go up again. I still... Okay, well, I'm gonna try going down then. Alright. Did I go anywhere this time? Nope. Okay, cool. Well, it's just an elevator that keeps me in one place. Okay, well then, I guess we will take the path.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
Yeah, we get it.
Stanley just sat around twiddling
Let's see what happens if I don't put the pin in.
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I'm just not going to put it in and see what he says. No.
2845.
Okay. Maybe I don't want to put it in. Maybe I want to read a book. Huh? Maybe I just want to leave.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Oh, I guess it makes me go down, huh? Okay. Alright, let's go, go, go. So I'm going to take the escape.
Ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah? Prove it.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah. Ooh, big ominous red light. Yeah, let's go. Let's see what happens. I don't think I'm gonna die. I don't think that was it. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Yeah.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Do it.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Ha! Ha ha!
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? The office. Did I do anything? Oh, cool credits. Ooh. Okay. It's just a museum of everything in the game. Okay. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Okay. I want to see what's over here.
Poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and
The
bad.
voice of the narrator recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early outtakes.
Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. He traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever.
Huh. Okay. Well, let's go back up to the exit. See what happens. Countdown desk. One with the desk from an early version of the Countdown ending. Huh. Oh, we're doing this again.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Okay.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...